Awesome. So as folks are rolling in, welcome to Ballet Lines through Body and Pole. My name is Kyla. I'm one of the aerial instructors at Body and Pole, and I'm also a ballet dancer. I started in a ballet company when I was 16, so I have a little bit of experience there. And props for today. I recommend a yoga mat. We're going to do a little bit of work on focusing on turnout and turn in and some hip stuff. So if you have a yoga mat, that's nice. If you have a carpet, then you don't need it. What else? I have a TheraBand. If you don't have a TheraBand, yoga pants can kind of substitute in for that. And I have a towel because we're going to work on our little toe muscles, so for grabbing with the towel. And I have a tennis ball. I think that's a nice addition. No big deal if you don't have it, but I highly recommend the tennis ball. We're at 6:01. Yeah, once again, this is a donation-based class. So I have info about where you can send donations to me pinned at the bottom. And then Body and Pole misses you all so much. So please maybe take a selfie as you're taking class and share it with us. We also have some really awesome classes online over at Body and Pole online. So go and check those out. I think there's some new stuff being added to that. And we've got a whole schedule of Instagram Live classes. So let's get started. The first thing that we're gonna do is actually wake up our calves a little bit. So sitting down on the floor, I think y'all can see me all right. So we're gonna start sitting on the floor and just sit comfortably and start working through your calves like, I don't know, like you're kneading bread. Is everybody making bread? I wanna eat all of your bread. So just working it down. And then when you get to your heel, just kind of pinch a little bit, wake that up. And then go on the top of your foot. I don't know where you're from, calling in from or watching in from, but in New York it's really chilly and damp. So just rubbing along your metatarsals, and then take your fingers underneath your toes. Put your thumbs right at your toe knuckles and pull your toes back and spread them out. And here you go. And then just take your foot and give each toe a little wiggle and a little tug. And your big toe. And then we'll do the other side. So working down, calf. I don't do this enough. Really need to get into the belly of my calf more. And then by your heel, give it a rub. And then just some rubbing down on your metatarsals. And fingers under your toes, spread your toes wide, put your thumbs at that crease and make an awesome clean fold. I like to sometimes think about my body like I'm doing origami with my body. So what's the cleanest fold that I can have the cleanest bend there? And then a little tug and a wiggle on each of your toes. Great. So make sure everything can be seen. So we're gonna work on something that seems really simple, but actually might for some of you feel like new information. So when I point my foot, sometimes the Achilles pops out. And what we really want to have happen is for that Achilles to fold in, because then we can get the most out of the ankle. So we're going to work on this, focusing, and we're going to use our hands to help. If you need to sit on a block or something to get up a little bit more comfortable, that's totally fine. We're just focusing on this leg right now. So I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to slide them down into that little nook at my Achilles, right above my heel. And I'm going to use that thumb or both thumbs to encourage the Achilles to fold in, just how I was talking about that nice clean fold like origami. And then I'm gonna put my hands around the outside of my foot. I'm gonna spread my toes really wide. This foot is a little bit stronger, my other foot's the weak one when it comes to that. And then I'm gonna think about tracking over my second toe as I lift this top part of my ankle up and fold in at my Achilles. So the Achilles folds in, and I'm really lengthening, extending through this top part of the arch. Toes are spread wide. From here, I'm going to push the toes into the floor, and they're not crunching under, they're trying to lengthen. And then spread the toes wide as you lower down, keeping that nice crease there. And then lengthen the heel down, keeping the toes spread wide. We're going to do 7 more. So reaching up through here, push the floor away with the toes, spread the toes wide, and down, and 6. Really finding the length. And 5. Reaching long. And 4. Nice soft crease in that Achilles. 3. Tracking over the second toe. 2. And last 1. And coming to the other side. So those of you who are coming from pole, or like me, if you do a lot of lyra in gorgeous heels, right? We can still point our feet when we're wearing high heels. And let's find this Achilles, nook it in, and then reaching up. And so this is how we're pointing our foot when we're in that high heel. We're really extending through the top of the foot and then pointing through your toes, lengthening the toes. So when people say point your feet, I agree with that. When people say point your toes, I don't agree with that. Because you can curl your toes under and not be lengthening through the top of your arch. This is number 3. And that's a scary pterodactyl foot that I don't want to see unless you're doing an act where you're inspired by like Lord of the Rings or something like that. Lengthening up. If you're doing character work, by all means, crunch your toes under and don't point through your arch. But for the most part, you want to point through your arch. 3 more, really spreading the toes wide. This is my challenge. I'm working through an old injury, and my big toe does not want to engage and spread wide. It wants to go into just extreme bunion zone. And 1 more, keeping that Achilles soft. Reaching, 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 reaching long. Good. So now we're going to extend our legs out in front of us. Just circle your ankles around one direction and then the other. So we're going to go through this. It kind of feels like nails on the chalkboard to me, but it is good to really understand what the difference is between pointing toes and pointing feet and working some of those muscles underneath the toes. So first of all, try to lengthen the backs of your knees onto the floor as much as you can. If you're hyperextended, that may mean that your heels are off the floor. It's a lot easier to get your heels off the floor for me anyway, when my feet are flexed, and then as I point my feet, that's when the micro bends I find happen. So just keep aware of that. We'll take a moment to beat our quads out when we're done with this. So really lengthening through those legs, sitting up tall, point through the feet, and then here we go, we're gonna go into ugly pterodactyl foot, pull back with the feet, but keep the toes curled under. And then lengthen the toes up, try to flex the toes back, and then pressing down through our Barbie foot or our demi point. And then lengthen the toes down. And then again, pull back. Flex the toes back. Lengthen through Barbie foot. And lengthen the toes. 2 more times this direction. Pull back. Reach the toes long. Gorgeous Barbie foot. Lengthening through the backs of the knees. And toes lengthen. And last time this direction. Pull back. And flex. Barbie foot, and lengthen. Now we're going to reverse it. Lengthen the toes to Barbie foot, flexing, curl the toes under. This is not cute, but it is good to work on it just to know the difference and to strengthen those muscles. 2 more, really lengthening through the backs of the legs. Last one, lengthen, lengthen, flex. Curl under and down. And relax your legs, give your quads a little beating. Beat down your legs. And maybe give your arches a little rub. Great. So we're going to get into TheraBand territory. So, here's my TheraBand. Like I said, yoga pants can stand in for this. And just real simple. We're going to roll through, pointing all the way through the foot and then back. So get the band around your demi point. And we're focusing on this leg. So again, really trying to get that back of the knee to lengthen onto the floor. And here we go, pointing through, tracking through that second toe, lengthen the toes. Then flex the toes back and the whole foot. We've got 7 more. Really trying to keep that knee lengthened. 6. No micro bends in the knees. For me, it's actually real hard as we're pointing down. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. Last one. And take that out. My big socks are moving all over the place. But it's just too chilly today. Other foot, other side. Get yourself set up. And finding that length through the leg, really trying to reach the back of the knee to the floor. Kneecap is lifted and pointing through your demi point. And through the second toe. Toes back for 8. And 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Good, and we'll get rid of that and give your quads another little bit of a beating. All right, so we're gonna move over. We'll come back to our ankles and legs, but I don't wanna burn them out all right in one fell swoop. So coming onto your mat, you're gonna lay on your side. You wanna have room to extend your leg in front of you, straight down, and a little bit behind. So adjust yourself as you need to. I'm going to move my mat a little bit forward, actually. So, coming down onto your side, we are going to have our head resting right on our arm. And really, really lift your waist off the floor so that your hips are level. Knees are bent. Exhale, slide the rib cage down towards your belly button. Keep lifting your belly button. We're in a neutral spine here. Again, there should be a little space maybe, or at least those hip bones are stacked. And we're going to go toe to toe, really shine the heel forward and keeping the hips perfectly still. Knee to knee, really, really, really trying to get the pinky toe towards the front. And toe to toe, knee to knee, and 6 more. 5, keep lifting the belly button. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then hover the knee so that the leg is parallel to the other leg. And here we go. So through all of this, really find focus in that super straight leg. Here we are, super straight, lengthening through the back of the knee. Kneecap is lifted. And internal rotation, it's going to feel so tiny if you're like me. And then external rotation. And parallel, bring your leg all the way straight down. And we're going to find an arabesque without shifting the hips. So just in that parallel press back, it's not going to go back far at all. And bring it to neutral, turn out, keep lifting the belly, press it back. Again, it's not going to be far. How straight is your knee? Can it be straighter? Can your foot be more pointed? Come to parallel, lifting it up, keep the hips level, super straight knee. And find your turn out. And again, don't move the hips. Keep lengthening out. Super, super, super straight leg. Soft in the hip crease. Lengthen it down. Find your parallel. Pull it in. We're going to do 2 more sets. Extend it out to the front. Really lengthening through the back of the knee, pulling up the kneecap. Turn it in. Turn it out. And neutral. Keep lifting your belly button. Lengthen that leg down. And without moving the hips, super straight through the back of the knee. Here's where micro bends start to happen. And bring it back. And external rotation in your turnout, lengthening again. Watch that micro bend. And I know because my body does it too. Reaching up to the side in parallel. And down. And turn out. Extending it up. Lengthening out. No grinding in the hip socket. It's not about how high you can get. It's about how gorgeously straight that leg can be. And parallel. Last round. Knee in. And extend out. Find your internal rotation. Look. External rotation. And lengthen. Reaching it down. It's so hard to do this alone. Thank you for doing this with me. Reaching long and pulling the leg behind you. Super straight knee. Coming to neutral. Turn it out. Lengthen it back. Again, no micro bends. And neutral. Parallel. Lifting that leg up to the side. Shooting the laser energy out. Bring it down. Turn it out. Extending out. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Bringing it down. And wiggle it out. Maybe rotate your hip around. We'll do a stretch after this. But just a little initial wiggle is nice. And coming around to the other side. Adjust your mat. Adjust your furniture as you need to. So checking in with the alignment. Belly button lifts. Hip bones are stacked on top of each other. Knees are bent. Rib cage sliding down as that belly button lifts. And if you want, you can put your hands on your hips like I'm doing to keep them still. Here we go. Toe to toe. Shine that heel forward. Knee to knee. Pinky toe cranks forward. And heel shines. Pinky toe shines. 6 more. Keep lifting your belly button. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hover the knee above, your leg is parallel. And extend out to the front, super length through that leg, internal rotation. External rotation, no micro bends. And neutral, bring it down. And super straight energy out the leg, pull it behind you slightly. And in, find the turnout, reach behind, back and parallel, keeping that hip still, belly button in as you lengthen up and down, turn out, reaching that laser energy out, lengthen, 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 and down, and parallel, and again, 2 more sets, out to the front, turning it out, turning it in. I know I switched it up there, but at least we did both things, right? And lengthen it down. We're all losing our minds, you guys. Reaching back, super straight leg, lengthening. And bring it to neutral. Best thing you can do is laugh at yourself, right? Reaching behind. I promise I will mess up many more times, but it won't be terrible. We'll get through it. Oh, goodness, this one is hard for me. Parallel, turn it out, lengthen the leg, and reach it long. We don't want to grind in the hips, so really feel like you're making space. Last round, we'll go parallel like I did the first time, and then turn out, lengthening through the back of the knee, lengthening through the top of the foot, reaching long, pull it behind you, belly button in, rib cage closed, hips are still, and neutral. Turn it out, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And back. Neutral, up and parallel, shooting that leg out, 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 out. And bring it down. Belly button stays lifting as you turn it out. Bringing it up. And down. And relax it out. Let's come up and sit on our butts. And we'll do a little wiggle. Bottoms of your feet together, and just rotate your hips around. I'm just rocking around from sit bone to sit bone and creating a circle. And then holding onto your knees, shins, ankles, feet, whatever feels right. Arch it forward and belly button in, contract it back. One more time, arch it forward, shoulder blades driving down your spine, back. Sit up tall, lower belly pulls in, dive your head forward and ripple up. And again, lower belly, dive it forward, ripple up. Good. Let's just cross. Either, if you want to do ankle to knee, you can. I'm going to try to do knee to knee. After that exercise, it always feels extra tight. So to kind of work and deal with this, I'm going to try to squeeze my bottom knee up and my top knee down to fire up all those muscles. So squeezing the knees together, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the squeeze, sit up taller, walk your hands forward. And if you want, you can let your head hang, otherwise you can stay up here. I know it gets real intense after doing that whole series. Deep breaths. Last deep breath. And belly button to your spine, roll it on up, and let's go to the other leg on top. Either ankle to knee or knee to knee. And firing things up first, squish your knees together, hold the squish for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it, sitting up tall, walk it forward, deep breaths. So I don't know what you guys are gonna do later tonight, but I have 2 shows, actually 3 shows that are happening online that all my friends are in. One is Let Them Eat Cake, which our Body and Pole buddies are producing. So there's that. Then the Slipper Room has a show at 9. Let Them Eat Cake is at 8. Slipper Room show is at 9. That one I know they're gonna replay. It's on Instagram Live. So I'll probably have Let Them Eat Cake going on my laptop and peeking into the Slipper Room show on my phone. I know it's crazy, but I want to see both of them. Belly button in, roll it on up. So I don't know, I'll figure it out, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So maybe I'll see you guys in the comments in those shows later. We're going to come back to standing, and you can leave your mat. You don't need to be on your mat for this part. So let's just bring our feet right underneath our sit bones. Lift your toes up, try to spread them wide and fan them out on the floor. And tracking your knees over your second toe, just bend and straighten a few times. As you do this, think about lifting your belly button in and up, sliding your rib cage down, and be broad across your collarbone. I'm just gonna check in. Just keep bending and straightening your knees. And great, okay, everyone's good. And then here we are. So straightening your knees, lengthening down. I'm going to go on an angle just so you can see. It's really easy when we start to shift our weight and lift one leg up. It's easy to go into a micro bend on the standing leg. And so since this class is all about ballet lines, we really want to focus as much on the length through the standing leg as whatever is happening in the leg that's working. So hands on the hips, belly button in, rib cage down, shoulders plugged in, long through your neck, root down through your left foot, and bring your right knee up. Now in this situation, we're going to go with ballet and not tuck the pelvis under. So my pubic bone, I'm in a neutral spine, my hip bones and my pubic bone are in line. And then I'm going to pull my knee higher without tucking, so it might not go very far, and keep lengthening that knee, right? If you micro bend the knee and tuck, you'll get the knee higher. We don't want to do that. So we're going to do 8 crunches here. Here we go for 8, 7, think about the length down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and root down. Be really honest with yourself about what's going on with the hips and the standing leg. Other side, here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My body wants to do it too, even after all the years of ballet training. We're going to go for a really gentle turnout. So find the rotation spiraling through the tops of the thighs, and I'm going to cross my arm over so it's not in the way of my knee. Shine that heel forward, soften the hip crease. Think about that origami fold. Pull the knee up without shifting the hips. Really shine the heel forward and pulsing. 8, 7, lengthening through that standing leg. 6, so that was wobbly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and root it down. It gets harder when you're really, really, really detail oriented. Shining the heel forward, lengthening through the standing leg, and pulsing. 8, 7, 6, lifting the standing kneecap. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rooting it down. Coming back to parallel, I'm going to go slightly on the diagonal. Let's keep hands at the hips. We're going to do tendu front. Really, really slow and detailed and articulate. So just follow along with me, I'll call it out. Sliding the right foot on the floor, going to demi-point. So reaching through the top of the arch, just like we did. Then toes push away, just like we did. Now spreading the toes wide, and the heel comes down. Lift the heel back up, soften that Achilles toes, and brush in, and a plie. Other side, sliding the foot out, demi-point. Check in with your standing leg. How straight is that? Toes. Toes down, heel up, lifting through the belly button, lifting the toes, pushing the floor away, toes down, slide in, and demi. We're going to go for a turnout. We're going to do one front, side, side, back, back. Okay? So as we do this, let me get rid of my mat. As we do this, focus as much on the standing leg as you do on the working leg, and I'm going to add in some arms. So for the front, I'm going to bring my arms overhead. Inhale, slide the ribcage down, lift your belly button. Here we go. Shine the right heel forward, demi-point. Toes down, heel down. Lift the heel up, soften the Achilles toes, pull the toes back, pinky toe leads, and plie. And lengthen, other side, heel shines forward, demi-point. Soften the Achilles, toes down, heel forward, heel down. Lift the heel, toes, push the floor away, pinky toe leads to demi, and pinky toe leads back, and plie, arms out to the side for the side, shining the heel forward to demi. Super straight standing leg, toes down, heel down, keep shining the heel forward, toes, heel, plie, and up, trying to keep the shoulders right over the hips, shine that heel forward, toes down, heel down, lengthen through the legs, heel, toes lengthening, toes back, in, and plie. For the right leg, the right arm will go forward. Lead with the pinky toe. Lift the belly. Toes up. Toes go down. Heel goes down. Heel comes up. Toes bringing the heel forward. And plie, changing arms to the other side. Lead with the pinky toe back. Lift the belly button more. Toes push away. Spread the toes. And then the heel, and heel, toes, shine that heel forward, and plie, and give yourself a little wiggle dance. Shake it out. So, we're going to take socks off if you have them, take your towel, spread it wide, and we're going to articulate through the toes a little bit more. Now that they got like a nice spreading workout from those tendus, we're going to make them do some work. So I have my towel, take my socks off, and I have really weak right foot from cortisone injection that happened a year ago, and I still don't have the muscles back. So I feel a difference. So we're going to do 2 rounds of this. We're going to grab, spread the toes wide, then try to grab the towel and pull it into you. And again, we're going to do 10 and then 10. And then I think we'll do it a second time. So here we go. Spread, grab, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to roll out the bottom of the foot after this, 2, and 1. Reset your towel. Other foot. Spread them and grab for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Spread it out. Last round, each foot, and then we're going to roll the bottoms of our feet out. Spreading the toes wide, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reset that towel. Last time. Second foot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we did it. So if you want to put your socks back on, you can do that and grab a ball. Now, sometimes I find that tennis balls are a little too squishy for rolling out the bottoms of the feet. So there are these really awesome, harder, spiky balls that you can get probably on Amazon or anywhere. They're really, really great. But if all you have is a tennis ball, you can still make magic happen. So I will demonstrate with a tennis ball in case that's what you're dealing with. Lacrosse balls are excellent because they're a little bit harder. So I'm going to put the ball down and just roll through, getting under the metatarsals, getting under the arch. And then work your way towards the heel. And then get the ball sort of like a little bit forward of the heel. And then let your crease on the top of the ankle fold and let the heel touch down wherever you are there. Then from here, I'm going to actually bend forward and push my fingers into that crease at the top of my ankle. And I'm going to do a few plies gently, just plieing and straightening. And I find that that really gets into the arch and it also makes my ankle feel nice and juicy and not stiff. Again, tracking the knee over the second toe as you bend and straighten. And going for the other side. Rolling it out. Getting under the toe knuckles. So there's been a lot of research that has come out lately that passive stretching is actually not so good for you. And when things are cramping, like I know feet often cramp, sliding it down and do a little thumb in the crease, do some plies. So when things are cramping, that usually is a sign of some sort of weakness. So these exercises that we're doing of like getting the calves and all the little tiny muscles in the feet stronger, hopefully that translates to less cramping for you when you're on your apparatus or doing your work. But the other thing that's going to really help, and instead of passive stretching, right, is active stretching, working through like the full range of motion with a lot of muscle engagement, and then massage. So that's why now I'm starting out with like a little bit of massage, and then when we're done together and we're watching shows later, we're watching all of our friends be super awesome in their shows, really great time to give a little bit more of a massage for wherever you feel like you need it. So actually we're going to hold on to the tennis ball and we're going to do some relevés or heel raises. And I'm going to use the tennis ball in between my heels. So I find that's really helpful in keeping my ankles from wobbling. So I'm going to hold on to my aerial rig. It's a little bit out of frame for you guys, but I'm going to lift my toes up, spread them wide, and try to bring my big toes together I've got wide front parts of my feet and then really narrow heels, so everyone's gonna have a little bit of a different experience. But we're all going to releve, tracking over the second toe. Keep those toes spreading wide and lifting the belly, coming up. Super straight legs, control the down, feel the muscles where the thigh, the hamstring meets the butt. Those should be engaged. We've got 8 more. 8, lifting up taller as you come down. 7, 6, super straight knees, kneecaps lifted, lengthening through the back of the knees. 5, 4, really control the coming down. 3, 2, and 1. Good, and you can shake your legs out. One more time. I'm gonna check in on our time, see where we are. Fantastic. Okay, so I wanna do something, again, yeah, so you can either take the towel that you had or use the yoga mat, and if you wanna double your yoga mat over, because we're gonna do something on our bellies and pubic bones, that area on a hard floor can be kind of painful. You want to have enough space to have your legs lengthened behind you and slightly spread sometimes. So one spot where micro bends happen a lot is when the leg is behind us and we're trying to get the leg higher. And when a micro bend happens, often that means that there's less engagement through the whole leg and the belly and the body and everything. So this is going to kind of really, if we do it with a lot of focus, it's hopefully gonna help make that more awesome. So, bringing yourself down on your belly, you're gonna make a pillow for your face with your hands. I'm gonna look up at you right now because I don't wanna talk into my hands. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna zip your ankles together and then you're going to pull your belly button into your spine so that there's maybe some space, but you're really focusing on flattening out your lower back just to start. We'll get out of that in a second. So tucking under, ankles together, forehead down, and then find the straightest knees that you can have. And your sole focus in this is to keep your knees super straight. Now, keeping your legs parallel, which for me is very hard, belly button lifted, super straight legs. Try to reach the right leg up. It may only go like a fraction of an inch and down. And we're gonna do 7 more of those, so that we do 8 total. Here we go. For 7, 6, 5. I'm keeping my belly button tucked. 4, lower back is lengthened. 3, 2, it's so tiny, and 1. And then relax, wiggle it out. So again, we're not in a neutral spine, we're in a super flat lower back, which means we're tucking under. And finding that length through the legs, try to find your parallel, and on the other side it'll be tiny for 8, 7, think about lengthening the back of the knee to the ceiling. So less about the foot, 5, because if you think about the foot, that sometimes makes the knee want to bend. 3, so I think about lengthening the knee. 2, and 1. And wiggle it out again. And now we're going to go for an external rotation. And this time, for me, when I do that external rotation, initially my legs want to go out, so I'm going to find my turnout and then I'm going to zip them back together. Again, flattening out the lower back, and again, our leg's not going to go very high. Here we go. Think about the back of the knee going up for 8, 7. It's so tiny. 6. This is not for your ego. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wiggle it out. And other side. If you're like me, your legs spread a little bit as you set up and then zip them together. And lengthening through the back of the knee. 8. Last side, last time. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And wiggle your butt out. So yes, when we bring our leg to the back, we are going to let our lower back arch, but we want to initiate with that feeling all the way up at the top, which I hope you were able to feel, of what at NECA they call the thut, which is the thigh-butt connection, this spot right here. So you can come on up out of that. And we're going to go into développés. And again, this is not about how high you get your leg. It's really about finding all those little muscles up in your hips, super straight standing leg, and a really beautiful extended leg once we get there. So we're going to start in parallel. Hands on your hips, roll your shoulders back and down, close your ribs, lift your belly button, and starting with the right leg, bringing the right knee up. And we practice this, lift the knee first. And now extend out, lengthening that standing leg. Now from here, this is the hard part, try to lift the leg higher. And pull the foot in. And again, don't compromise that standing leg. Just get rid of that ego. Pull the leg up, knee up. Extend the leg out as you lengthen. Lift up higher. Pull the knee higher, root down through the standing leg. And plant it down. And turn out. Let's bring the arms up. Exhale, ribs down, belly button lifted. And right leg up, heel shines forward. Reaching forward through the heel. And lift the leg higher, pull the knee back. Turning it out. And down. Other side. Lengthening into the floor. And shine that heel forward. Super straight standing leg. Can it be straighter? Straighten that standing leg more as you lift the front leg higher. Pull the knee back. And in. Arms out to the side. Grow taller. Take a moment. Drag those shoulder blades down. Internally rotate in the lower arm. And right leg up. Soften in the hip crease. Pull the knee up. Shine the heel forward. And then lift it higher without compromising the standing leg. And lower it down. Other side, lifting it up, hips stay level. Shine the heel forward. Lifting up, straightening through that standing leg. Bring it in. And down to the back, same as before. Our right arm is going to go front as the right arm goes back. And remember that engagement we felt. Start with that lengthening and engaging out. There is that tilt. Lift it up. Work that standing leg. Shine the heel forward. Lower it down. Feel that thut on the standing leg as well as the working leg. And extending it out. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Super straight standing leg. Lift the leg higher. Belly button lifted, heel shining forward, and down, and give it a wiggle dance. Get all weird and twisty. Wiggle your rib cage, your hips, your knees, your arms, your head, and then separate your feet a little bit wider than your shoulders. Bend your knees, roll down, and straighten your knees, and bend for 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Drop the tailbone, belly button to your spine, rolling up really, really, really slowly. And then turn your feet out. You can come into a first position or a little bit wider than a first position. And since we worked all those muscles, I want to stretch them out. Roll it down. And then bend your knees, really tracking your knees over your second toe. And push the floor away for 4. And 3, heavy head. 2, and 1. Bend your knees, drop your tailbone down, keep turning out, lifting through your belly button, stacking your spine. Woo. And coming on up. Cool. So if you have any questions about anything that we did with that, do let me know. I know that that's like a lot of like really, really, really tiny detail that's probably hard to translate digitally. So one last thing I want to work on, because we went from the arabesque, we worked on the développé out. So I do want to touch on that, finding that brush out. And if you want to hold on to a wall for this one, you can. But I think that this one really relates to finding strength and holding shapes in the air, doing aerial, and finding that engagement. So we're gonna hold on to the wall. And there's this thing that happens, right? When we bring our leg back, our torso and our pelvis have to tilt forward, but it's how much and when that happens, and it's going to be unique for each of you because we're all in our own beautifully different bodies, right? So we want to initiate with that pinky toe, that spiral back, and a lifting up through the belly as the standing leg roots down. And so already I'm lengthening through the back of my knee, and I'm having to tilt my pelvis even to get my foot just to a tangi back, right? And then from here, as I reach out through my leg, I'm going to keep reaching up on this diagonal with my belly as my leg comes up and lengthening down from my standing leg. I'm not going to try to go crazy, crazy high. Again, not about ego, right? So we're going to do 4 on each leg, just being really thoughtful and detailed about that. And I want you to just imagine that you're creating so much length in your body that however small the space is that you're in, you're expanding out beyond that room. You're reaching me, right? You're reaching out, right? We're all kind of confined in our apartments. So really just think about pushing your energy out, down through the floor, up through the top of your head now. We're gonna do 4. So much talking, I'm sorry. And whatever you feel like you wanna do, expressing with your arm, you can. Here we go. Sliding the pinky toes back, lifting, extending out. Should feel sublime. And lowering it down. Pulling up through the torso, bringing it back in. 3 more, lengthen. Reach. Lots of reach, lots of energy. Lengthen up more as you come down. 2 more, pinky toes lead back. Belly button lifted. Reaching long. And in. Reset, make sure you're coming back to pure neutral. Last time. Reaching long. Lengthen. Come back. In, and let's do a little contraction forward. And up. And we're going to do the other side. So again, setting yourself up really tall and start to lengthen out. Pinky toes. Reach. And lengthen up through the torso as you come down. 3 more. Rooting down into the floor. Out the top of the head. Belly button lifted. Feel the connection. If wherever your arm is, feel the connection between this arm and the leg that's brushing out. 2 more. Lengthening in all directions. And last one. Reaching. Not about how high the leg goes. I know y'all can get your legs real high. And another contraction. And up. Down. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. That's the end of the class. So once again, thank you so much for joining the Body and Pole donation-based classes. Donation info is down there at the bottom. If you have any questions at all, shoot me a DM. My name is Kyla. My Instagram is KaiGwen. And please check out our online Body and Pole online offerings, and maybe I'll see you in the comments at the Slipper Room tonight or at Let Them Eat Cake over on Zoom. So I love you all so much. Even the ones I don't know, I love you. Thank you for being part of our community, and I hope I see you soon. Bye, guys.